August 8th, 2017. As I notice things around the farm in an attempt to better educate people, I like to share them. So this is one thing I've noticed. I have been using a product called Forage Foliar feed as one of my primary feed sources for these sweet corn plants. This is incredible sweet corn, F1. It's a hybrid. Unfortunately, I can only get treated seeds, so anyway, I won't go into all that. The point I want to make is about nitrogen fixation and about appropriate inoculants. As you look at these different corn plots here, you can see this last planted corn plot is much darker green, and actually it has sort of a blue hue to it as well in comparison to the other planting that's ahead of it. And the other two have darkened up quite a bit. Anyway, I put these down with Forage Foliar feed and some other appropriate amendments for corn, for sweet corn, namely mostly a comfrey tea base. Initially, my first foliar drench I put down along with Spectrum Extra as an inoculant. I waited until a rainy night to put that down so that it would be driven into the soil and hopefully have the best chance at taking. Unfortunately, I'm not entirely sure if it did or didn't take, but I just want to point out that the darkness of green kind of shows how much nitrogen each different set of plants is fixing. And like you can see, these last two plantings here, well actually they're the first two plantings, are much darker green. Then the third one is a little bit more yellow, especially on the downhill side away from the other plots. And then the fourth one is very dark green. So my point is the amount of nitrogen these plants are able to fix, and yes, I really do mean fix nitrogen, it has to do with the inoculants that they were hit with. So it looks to me like the Spectrum Extra didn't take on this third planting of corn here that's a little bit yellower, and it has not had a foliar feed with an inoculant in it yet. It is scheduled for a foliar feed like that in the next week or so. I probably will accelerate that and do that in the next couple of days to get things rocking. But I want to point out that what I did was I came back and I did a trifecta of inoculants here. An inoculant called Biogenesis, one called BioCoat Gold, and the other one called Spectrum Extra. And I combined all three of those in conjunction with a forage foliar feed with appropriate trace mineral and hormonal nutrition. And you can see that these have darkened up a much darker green, and it's accelerated their growth quite a bit. And they're really, really cranking. And so this third planting did not have a second inoculation for foliar feed. It did get a foliar feed, but it didn't have an inoculant foliar feed. Okay, so you can see a massive difference whether or not biology is present. And you can see that those other two plots and this fourth plot are all able to fix nitrogen. And that middle plot is not as effective at fixing nitrogen, especially the plot that's a little bit further away from the other two inoculated patches. Anyway, I just wanted to point out just how critical and important biology is. As John Kemp from Advancing Agriculture says, biology is the trump card. And as you can see, it truly is. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network.